I'm just putting them on here one at a time. Right now I'm starting around on his white glove, and I'll just continue on from there till it's all finished. Putting lights on these things is never usually a one-time and done type thing. I lit up the drumsticks to see how they would look against the red jacket, and they're completely lost. You can't even see them, so I've got to change colors now. So I'm going to change the jacket to blue and the pants to red, and then the boots will be blue, and we'll see how that looks. I changed the red coat to blue and the blue pants to red, so now you can see the drumsticks without any problem. As you continue to put lights on it, the smile right here, this is part of the same lights as the body. Now I'm using my 20-volt transformer at the moment to light up all three drumstick positions so that I can see what the lights look like in behind them as I continue to lay my lights on here. You also have to remember too that when you start out, you have to be able to finish. So don't go over any areas that you'll need in order to continue moving. That's why as I come up, I did half the coat. Now I'm going around the face. I'll do all the hat here, move down, and then I'll come across the other side of the coat as I move back down the leg towards the ground. The top half of the smile right here is, I haven't got the lights cut yet for that, but it just takes, okay, I got 6 lights, seven lights on top right here. And those will be getting controlled by the Arduino to make the mouth look as though it's actually singing. Made it to the top. Now I'm going to start on my way back down again. I'll go all the way down that side, across his coat, and down to the floor. The lights are finished. Got them all the way down to his boots. I'm using my 20 amp transformer that I'm going to use to run the drumsticks and the mouth in the drummer. And I've cut off 7 of the lights here. I've put yellow bulbs in them. This is going to be the top half of his mouth. Now you'll have to go through your resistors once again and find something that gives you the brightness you want. I normally take another strand, a good strand of lights, and I'll just compare them. I'm sure that there's ways to measure everything, but I don't know how to do that, so I simply compare the brightness and see if they look about the same. And if they do, then I'm in good shape. Now you want to be careful that you don't have a big enough resistor in there, because you'll burn your lights out. If they begin to dim on you, then you've already burned them, so you might as well just throw them away. I always start with a large resistor and work my way down, letting it get just a little brighter each time, and that way you can usually get pretty close. Once you've got what you think is good, then just go ahead and set it out and leave it on for a while. See if over time if you end up having a problem. If you do, then you need to go bigger on your resistor. So I've already compared them right here, and I'm satisfied with the way they look. And they've been sitting here for several minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and solder in this resistor. This was the 2.2K. I'll solder it in and be right back. Alright, I soldered in my resistor and a couple of nice long leads here that I've marked for the mouth and the ground. Now the mouth, it just simply lights up whenever the control box tells it to. I'm just going to touch the wires together here so you can see it light. But this is how you get the mouth to look like it's animated, especially back from a distance from the street. So now we're going to build the control box. He is finished. This time for my power, I'm using an old wall charger for my telephone. The end of it broke, but the charger itself is still fine. And if you look on them, you'll see that it tells you it's 5 volts with a 1.8 amp. So that's more than enough to run these relays. When you're checking it, after you snip the end off and bare the wires, I'll plug it back in here. On my little multimeter, you can see which side is the positive on it by just putting the leads on here and setting. I've got it set on the 50 volt setting there, but you can see that it moves up to 5 volts, and you can tell if you're on the hot side or not by simply switching your leads. If you put them on backwards, the needle will try to move the wrong direction. It moves down into the negative territory. So that tells me that the center wire right here, the white one, is the positive. So that's going to be my 5 volt power supply. This is all we're going to need to run our soldier with. It's an 8-channel relay here that already has the jumpers installed from 1 through 7. Each one simply connects to the next one. The last one is going to be 110 volts that'll light up his body. I've got 22 gauge wires here, about 6 inches long, in the 1 to 8. The last one is a ground. We don't use it. We've got our Arduino Mega 2560, and we've got 2 transformers here. A 5 volt from an old cell phone. I just cut the end off of it, bared the wires. And the 20 volt that I've been using so far. Yours could be different if you just use different resistors. To power these, most people are going to need 2 extension cords. One to carry power into the box, and another to carry out the 110 to run the soldier. In my yard sale hunts for extension cords, I came across this one. It is a plug with 2 wires that go out to 2 3-ways. So this is what I'm going to use because it's simple and it's cheap and I already got it. So the 1 wire, the plug-in right here, is going to go through the side of the box. So the 1 3-way will be inside, and we'll connect our transformers to it. And the other end is also going to be ran through the hole on the side of the box. This is going to carry power back out to our soldier. On the wire itself, we're going to snip one side of it. I'll do it up here closer. We're going to snip just the one side. Don't want to cut through the rubber on the second one. Now we'll peel them apart. Bare the ends. And these are what's going to run through our relay. And that's going to be the extent of it, with the exception of the wires that run the drumsticks and the mouth. Those are also going to have to come through the box, but for them I'm going to use these connectors. And I'm going to do it down about an inch or so off of where they connect onto his body. I mean about a foot or so after they connect onto his body. I'm going to cut through the wires, install these plugs, and that way I can separate him from the control box. The last thing that comes through here is going to be a USB cable. Depending on where you have your hubs or your computer, how length you'll need for your cable. I'm using the 33-foot ones. but it'll need to be a USB-A to a USB-B. And this is what connects onto our Arduino. I'm just going to hot glue these articles down in here so that they don't slide around on me. When the lid's back on the box, it'll be watertight after I hot glue the opening that the wires are passing through. So let's glue her together. I have the connector installed in my wiring harness now that's coming off of my drummer. And this will let me separate him from the control box. So now I can go ahead and take this harness up and attach it to the control box. I still have all the wires marked here with tape on the end so I know which wire is which.